A lot of unusual things are taking place tonight, but one of the unusual things is David Saperstein is somebody that I love deeply. He was the ambassador for religious freedom under President Obama, and then there was governor, senator, all the titles you've had, Ambassador Sam Brownback under President Trump, and he was the ambassador for religious freedom under President Trump. And the thing that impressed me the most is how much Ambassador Saperstein and Ambassador Brownback love and respect one another. Two different parties work together, got along. Wouldn't it be nice if that could be the norm these days? My greatest fear is that religious freedom will become politicized. I would love for somebody to run for president and they had simply one motto, e pluribus unum. We've got enough space for everybody, regardless of your race, religion, political party, or whatever else. If you're an American, we care about you and you matter. Well, there's this other young man that I grew up with. I've known for, 15 years or so. He's been in our church for different events and different things. Grew up in Plano. He's a Texan, which makes him better than anyone we've ever had in that office. Don't get mad at me. Other two, no, I'm teasing you. But he's a Muslim, and I love him deeply. And Rashad Hussain, and he is now the ambassador for religious freedom. Now, let me tell you something interesting about him. He was what's the right word, correct? Appointed, elected, what do you call that? Confirmed with 85 votes. Now, that's near impossible, but he was. And what's interesting is I supported him, and David supported him, but so did Sam Brownback. And it just made my day. And here's the thing I'll say about Rashad. He loves God. He's not merely a religious Muslim. He is serious about his faith. So with no further ado, he's going to come and give us some remarks. Ambassador Rashad Hussain.
Thank you so much, Pastor Bob. It's very much an honor to be with you all here for the second time. And I am very much at home. As Pastor Bob mentioned, I grew up in Plano, and I was just in Plano. I was with my parents all day. I had a chance to fly in the morning and drove here this evening and had a powerful experience of driving through Colleyville. And I wanted to honor the congregation and the rabbi. We've been following very closely everything that you've been through, but we honor your courage. I'm very grateful to be here in the same room with you, and I'm very grateful to be here with the Multi-Faith Neighbors Network. I want to thank Imam Majid. I want to thank Rabbi Saperstein. Ambassador Brownback is here. I thank you so much for all of the tremendous work that you did as ambassador at large. You've really made my job a lot easier because you've left such a strong foundation with Carson from our staff here and so much of the other team. And I sincerely appreciate all of the work that you did. And I want to let you all know that religious freedom is something that I take very seriously as someone that is assigned this responsibility in the Biden administration, something that the president takes very seriously, something that Secretary Blinken takes very seriously, and it is a critical human right. And it is something that we will be persistent and diligent in defending all over the world. I think it's a very powerful thing that you're holding this event here at this church. This is one of the first national official gatherings of the evangelical communities and the Muslim community. I had an opportunity a number of years ago to attend a Muslim Baptist dialogue, and I'm so glad and encouraged that you're doing this today. As I said, we are 100% committed to protecting the religious freedom of people all over the world. There is so much work to do, and it seems that since I've come into this job, the list even gets longer and longer. Now we've seen Russia's invasion of the Ukraine, and we've been in touch with religious leaders in the Ukraine, and our prayers are with them, and our support is with them. But as I mentioned, there is a strong foundation that's been set by my predecessors, Ambassador Brownback, Ambassador Saperstein, and we look to build on the tremendous work that they did all over the world. When I was in the position of Special Envoy to the OIC, which is an organization of Islamic countries around the world, as the special envoy for President Obama. There were a number of areas that we were working on that we intend to build on. One of those was the protection of religious minorities in Muslim-majority countries around the world. And some of you may be familiar with a document called the Marakesh Declaration, which is a document that was signed by over 300 of the leading Islamic scholars around the world on the importance and indeed the obligation for Muslims and Islamic countries to protect the rights, partly based on this principle in Islam, la ikraha fi din, from the Quran. There is no compulsion in religion. And that document, there is much work that needs to be done in implementation and to build grassroots support for it. So we intend to pick up that work. We are also very concerned about the genocide occurring in China against the Uyghurs and the atrocities against the Rohingya and other Muslim communities around the world. So we intend to pick up on that work. And now we have the difficulties that are facing the people of Afghanistan. And I was just talking to Ambassador Brownback about the work that him and his team are doing, which we're very appreciative of. And we'll continue to work on that. And I want to make sure that we continue the fight against anti-Semitism as well. We had a number of initiatives the time I was previously in government on protecting Jewish communities. Many of I've seen at least some of you today that joined us on our trip to the Holocaust sites with imams from the United States, and then another visit with imams from around the world. And we'll continue, God willing, to do that work as well. And I want you all to know that we cannot do this work without you, with our civil society partners. And many of you may have heard me say this. It's not something that people in government say all the time, but oftentimes you're more effective than we are in doing this work, because you bring the credibility of knowing your congregations. You come with the credibility of working with them and being with them and leading them for years and years and years. But I think that the most powerful way that we can do this work is through collaboration between government and civil society. So let's stay synced up together. Let's work together in a smart way. Let's work together in a sincere way. Let's work together to continue this hard work and continue this good fight. Thank you so much.